Card, please.
Among his many trophies, records and achievements, Roger Federer boasts both the most consecutive and total weeks as the men's world number one. While Novak Djokovic is likely to chase down the latter during 2021, Federer's record of 4.5 consecutive years as the best player in the world doesn't look in danger of falling anytime soon. But how do you get there? How exactly are the rankings calculated? Ranking points are of course awarded for winning matches, but some carry more weight than others. For example, on the women's tour, victory in a first-round match in a WTA 250 event is worth 1 point, whereas winning the US Open earns you 2,000. Essentially, the higher the tier and the further you progress, the more points are up for grabs. At the top tier of both the men's and women's circuits are the 4 Grand Slams. Winning one of these will bank a player 2,000 ranking points. These tournaments are under the jurisdiction of the sport's governing body, the International Tennis Federation, which also oversees the lowest rung of professional tennis, the ITF World Tennis Tour. Everything in between is run by either the Association of Tennis Professionals, ATP, or the Women's Tennis Association, WTA. The first layer of tournaments is the ATP Challenger Tour and the WTA 125 series, which act as a bridge between the ITF's entry-level events and the main tours. Both the ATP and WTA allocate their tournaments into tiers to reflect their importance, with the higher points on offer being reserved for the bigger events. From 2021, the WTA rebranded their tiers to replicate those on the ATP Tour, meaning both now have 1,000, 500 and 250 events. However, despite the name change, there remains a slight difference in how the two tours allocate ranking points. Winning an ATP 500 event earns you 500 points, but on the Women's Tour they'll continue to offer the winner 470 points. The extra 30 points are spread out around the other rounds, meaning that those who bow out earlier gain more ranking points than their male counterparts. The trade-off is the reduced number of points on offer to the winner. It's yet to be seen whether one day the two tours will operate an identical point system, but the changing to the naming conventions could be seen as a step in the right direction for the proposed merger between the tours. The WTA stated the decision was made to create consistency and alignment across professional tennis. Back to the rankings themselves. On both tours, an individual's ranking is usually based on a rolling 52-week period, with points from the corresponding week of the previous year dropping off a player's score. Let's say a player wins Roland Garros, earning 2,000 points. If they go out in the first round the following season, earning them just 10 points, they effectively lose 1,990 points from their ranking score. Similarly, if they were to win the event again, they would retain all 2,000. This is why you might hear commentators say a player has a lot of points to defend at this tournament. However, the COVID-19 outbreak, which put a halt to competitive tennis for several months in 2020, forced a rethink. The rankings were frozen while play was suspended, and for the remaining events in 2020, players would automatically be credited with their best score from either the 2019 or 2020 edition of the tournament. It meant players weren't penalised for opting out of events during the pandemic, or feeling forced to appear at events they'd done well at in 2019 to defend their points. Any points added in 2020 will drop after the event is held again in 2021 or after 52 weeks, whichever is earlier. The ATP were the first to adopt this system, with the WTA quickly following suit. However, no system is foolproof, and the ranking system is currently in a bit of a mess, which could lead to some interesting seedings at upcoming events. Ashley Barty has not played a competitive match since February 2020, but her protected points saw her end 2020 as the WTA world number one, which means she'll be top seed for early events in 2021 despite her lack of match practice. These changes have created a 2-year ranking structure, which certainly has its pros and cons. Arguably, it makes it harder for up-and-coming players to break into the higher echelons, but it certainly gives a fairer reflection of a player's consistent success. It would also suit players who are injury-prone and allow more freedom over scheduling. If a player sustains a long-term injury, they can petition for a protected or special ranking. This allows them to gain entry into a specific number of tournaments on their return from injury. Doing so not only avoids a player's ranking unfairly plummeting, but also keeps matches and events fair. Without a protected ranking, players would be forced to play smaller tournaments to build up ranking points, potentially depriving others of opportunities. The WTA ranking points are based on players' results at a maximum of 16 tournaments. These must include all 4 Grand Slams, all 4 mandatory WTA 1000 events, and their next best 8 results from other tournaments making up the rest of the ranking score. The men's system is similar. Their ranking is made up of their results at the Slams, the 8 mandatory ATP 1000 events, and their next 7 best results from any other tournament. For both men and women, these stipulations only apply if the player is a main draw acceptance for the mandatory tournaments. For example, a lower-ranked player who did not qualify for Wimbledon can then choose 8 of their best results from any tournament instead of 7. Finally, there are the World Tour finals on both circuits. Entry for these events are based on points accrued in the calendar year, with a separate list reset to 0 each January. On both tours, the top 8 players play in a final tournament, where they're split into 2 groups. At the ATP Finals, each round-robin win is worth 200 points. The semi-final earns 400 and the final is worth 500, meaning an undefeated champion can gain a maximum of 1,500 points, as well as one of the biggest paychecks in tennis, $2.8 million in 2020. The WTA Finals offer 160 ranking points for each pool stage win. Reaching the quarterfinals will gain a player a maximum of 750, the semis a further 330, and if you become the champion, again, a maximum of 1,500 points on offer. Once the final ball of the Tour Finals is hit, the ultimate rankings can be set in stone, and the top player claims that coveted accolade of year-end #1. With the sport being played over 11 grueling months of the year, all around the world on 3 different playing surfaces, finishing a tennis season top of the tree is arguably one of the hardest sporting achievements to accomplish.